this is your first time on this channel, welcome. I am so happy you stumbled upon this video. And with the title, I know you're here for business. You're just curious. Maybe you're in Nigeria right now, in Nigeria or in UK, wherever it is that you are, and you're thinking of coming to Canada to study to become a care worker or a care aide, or support worker, depending on what you call it right now. But whatever it is, you are not a nurse, you're not a doctor, you're not a medical doctor, you are an healthcare aide, and you have the experience, but you want to be able to use it. You want to be able to use your experience in Canada and get the Canadian version of it to be able to work in the facilities here in Canada. I was just like you a year ago, 2 years ago, when I was thinking of what to do to come to Canada to study. I had my study permit and I wanted to study. I applied for my study permit and I wanted to study healthcare aide, care worker, personal support worker, whatever it is you want to call it. But for this video, we're going to call it CCA because I'm in Saskatchewan in Canada, which is what it's called, continuing care assistant. And if you are curious about what it means, I have many videos where I've done that already. But for existing subscribers or viewers, which I'm not sure why you're not a subscriber yet, but if you are just wondering why this person has not been showing up on your YouTube page, I am so sorry. But I had to give myself a break because I had a lot going on. Now, let's start with the first thing. After I graduated last year, I was so happy. I was happy to be done with it because it was a long thing. The clinicals, the hours, and reading for exams and tests every week. Yes, I've already done a video about it. I'm going to link it somewhere here. Every week we did classes, we did assignments, tests, and exams every week till we were done with that whole program. So it was intense, right? But I was so happy to be done with it. And the good news was that I and most of my classmates, we got a job offer before we even finished our clinicals. We applied to the places we did our clinicals. And one thing about working or schooling in a rural area is that most of the time you do get jobs as a care worker. And that was a miracle. But the thing is, if you are willing to stay in Canada after school and apply for a permanent residency, the kind of job offer we got would not be admissible by IRCC. Let me explain what I mean. So we started as casual staffs for these long-term care facilities, and it was a good one because yes, you start working, you get orientated to the units, and for us that have already done our clinicals, it wasn't so much of a hassle because we're already familiar with the work. Clinicals is just unpaid internship. So we're familiar with the work and everything we're meant to do. But the thing was that we're not getting paid for it. So finally getting the employment was so amazing. At least you get a job, you start working, getting your hours, and then hopefully you get a full-time offer. So I started with a casual, like many people. Most of the times that's what you get. Even nurses get casual positions. For not everybody wants a full-time, or not everybody gets a full-time position. But if you are not a Canadian, if you're not a PR, you need a full-time to be able to apply for your permanent residency, a full-time position. So after I got the casual, I was happy, but I was not satisfied with it because that was not what I wanted, right? So I kept on applying for the jobs, but I was also working at the same time, which was good because I was getting my experience, I was getting my work hours experience that I would be needing to apply for my PR. And by the way, I had already applied for my postgraduate work permit. I'm going to make another video about the new updates with the postgraduate work permits, but for me then, I didn't need to apply with an English test or things like that because they've already updated the rules now. But that's another video for another day. Keep watching the space. I'm going to be coming up with new updates about immigration and all that. I was working in a long-term care facility and it was good, right? And then I kept on applying. So I applied. I saw a part-time position. It's not a full-time position, but it was a part-time position and it was in a different facility. So I applied for it and I got it, and I was so happy. Now the thing is, you need you need references. References are they're like hot cake in Canada. You need to know somebody in order to get references sometimes, because when you get reference from somebody who's already working in that place, it gives you a bump. Like it just makes it easier to talk to the manager or talk to the HR or whatever. Not like if you apply, you're not going to get, but a lot of people are applying, right? So references was one of the good things that worked for me. And when I got the part-time position, I was I was happy. I was happy. But because it wasn't a full time, I wasn't going to be getting full time hours in that facility. I still held on to my casual position, so that I'll be able to be working full time. So which means I was working in two facilities. Yes, this is possible. If you've been wondering, yes, it is very possible for you to do that. And I did this, right? So I worked as a part-time care worker in the hospital. It was very mind-blowing for what I was used to, because for our clinicals, which I think is a little bit limiting, but it's a new program and they're not used to it yet or whatever. You are mostly trained to work in long-term care facilities like care homes and places, home care, even not home care, mostly care homes in the clinicals. You'll be taught about different facilities you can work, but for the clinical hours, most of it will be done in long-term care, because that's where CCAs are mostly needed, right? There are not a lot of positions in the hospitals for CCAs. So for my part-time position, I got it at a hospital, and it was an eye-opener for me. It wasn't something that I was used to, because in long-term care, CCAs, you have a lot of CCAs working on the floor. You're not the only one, you have partners. But in the hospital, you work with nurses. You are literally nursing assistants in some ways, because you work directly with the nurses. They give you directions on what to do, and if they need help with a patient and they need help repositioning, they need help cleaning, you do all the personal care. It is expected of you to do the personal care. Your job is to help the nurses on shift for that day, to make their own workload lighter, so they don't have to worry about those things, because you are trained to do the personal care. So you don't handle medications and all that just because you're working in a hospital. No, we're not trained to do that. You do the personal care, which is the cleaning, washing, getting them groomed, feeding people who need help with feeding anyway, and things like that. I've made videos about what you do as a CCA. Please check my channel for these videos. I'm going to put them in the description box as well. And yeah, so I worked in that part-time position, and I kept my casual just because I wanted that full-time hours. 40, you get to work 40 hours a week, and ICC counts 30 hours a week. No matter how many hours you work in that week, they will only count 30 hours, and it will show in your pay slip that you would need as evidence when you are applying for your PR. Another thing I also want to talk about is the pay stub. So be aware that you are going to get deductions with your pay stub. The hours you work, you multiply by your salary, your hourly rate, pay rate. Is not the exact money that was going to drop in your account. There'll be deductions from taxes, from unions, because CCAs are also under a union in Canada. So you pay union dues, you pay tax, you pay pension and health insurance, depending if you have a position like a part-time position or full-time position. So they will deduct all those things from your salary. So at the end of the day, you're not going to be getting all your money that you would think you'll be getting, right? So be very aware of that. And right now in Saskatchewan, CCAs get paid $23 per hour. $23.17 per hour for your starting salary. It will be different if you're working in private institutions, but for the government, the SHA, you're going to be paid $23 per hour. That's the rates for now. If they're going to change, it's fine, but for now, that's what you get paid. Eventually, I got my full time. Yay! I was so happy. I was really, really happy, and I've been doing that for a while now. And the thing about full time, once you get your full time position and you work that position for like 3 months, 2 to 3 months, you are eligible to apply for a job approval letter. This is only applicable for people in Saskatchewan. It's different for other provinces. If you want to apply through the provincial nomination pathway, You for Saskatchewan, please check other provinces, but for Saskatchewan you will need a job approval letter. This is the thing about Canada, every province is different, but it's kind of similar in the way they go about everything. So for Saskatchewan, you need a job approval letter from your employer. It states that this is a proof that you need to apply for your provincial nomination from the Saskatchewan government. It shows that yes, this person is an employee of mine, and yes, they have worked all the hours that they are claiming in their pay stub and in their application. And yes, I am very much aware of this, and this is why I'm writing this letter to support their application. So you need that job approval letter, but you cannot get that job approval letter if you do not have a full-time position, which is why full-time is what you need. Frankly, I wish it wasn't like that. I wish if you work all your hours, even as a casual, it works. You can apply for SINP, but for now, the rules are the rules. So, which is why I had to do that. So, but the good news is, all the casual hours also work because I've been working for the same employer. So the hours counted towards my SINP application. And so when I applied SINP application, bear in mind that you need that job approval letter. You need a bunch of other documents, which I'm going to make a different video for. Oh my god, video ideas are already coming up, which is really good. If you really want this video, if you're interested in knowing how to apply for SINP and the entire process, let me know in the comment section by typing SINP. Let me know, please, so I would be aware that yes, this is something that people are into, because it is I would say it's kind of complicated if you've not done something like that before, but it's touch and go, because you need all the documents. But if you don't know all the documents you need, they're already on the website, but a lot of people still need a little bit of guidance so you don't make mistakes. And the website is the process is long. You need to take hours to sit down and apply for it, because it's a long process. And especially if you're not single and you have dependents, like your spouse, and you need to apply, because you need to add all those information when you're applying for your SINP. It is a longer process. As long as your husband's work hours also, or your wife's work hours also counts. Like, it's a lot process. I'm not going to go into this video. Like I said, SINP in the comments if you want that video. Anyway, so after getting that job approval letter, I was able to apply for my SINP. SINP takes close to 3 months, I think, for you to get a response back. But once you do, you are already nominated by your province, which gives you 600 points on your CRS score for your PR. So good luck and congratulations to everybody who've been nominated. It's a wonderful feeling to be able to work towards a goal and achieve it. And yeah, I'm just so happy for everybody. Anyway, I'm just happy because 1 year later, I would say that I have made a lot of progress. I have gone through a lot of doubts throughout this process, but I'm just so happy, because where I was this time last year is not where I am now. I have made progress. I am settling into the life that I am living. The work I am doing, it is very eye-opening for me, and it's making me get interested in other healthcare professions. I've not yet decided on what to do, but I'm definitely going to pursue a career in healthcare. I'm going to stay in Canada, and I'm just so happy that I am in this path for myself. 10 years ago, I would not know that this would be my life, and I feel like we need to give ourselves grace, because we are going through things that we didn't have a blueprint to it many years ago. We didn't even know this was possible, and I'm just so happy that the Canadian immigration pathways are possible for people to get opportunities to create a life for themselves. It is a truly wonderful. It's a wonderful opportunity, and I'm just so grateful. I am really grateful, because it's created the life that I am living right now. I have nothing bad to say about it. Honestly, it's not perfect, but it is working, and it's worked for a lot of people. And when you keep working in this space, it changes the way you see things. You see young people who have achieved so much just because they've been in a system, in an environment that enables that. And you also see the downsides of that there are a lot of people who still don't know how to I don't know, like there are different sides to everything, right? But I am just so grateful that as an immigrant, you can make a life for yourself. You can make a life for yourself if you are just putting in all the effort, putting in all the effort, putting in all your ideas, just making sure that you are focused on your goal. And I'm just so happy that this is the life I'm living. For a casual position, you have no guaranteed hours, which means that they can only call you, they mostly call you when somebody on the rota, like somebody that is supposed to work called in sick, or there's a vacant shift and they don't have somebody to fill that shift. Then they call you. Sometimes they call me. I remember when I was a casual, they will call me like 5 o'clock in the morning that, "Hey, can I come up? Can I come in and cover this shift?" Which is fantastic for somebody who is single. But I have a kid, I need childcare. I cannot just wake up, drive to work for 12 hours and not think about where my kid will stay. Even though my kid is in daycare, I made a video about that already. But still, I still need to drive her to daycare. I'm even lucky that I have a partner that helps with that. But you still need time to, manage your time and manage your schedule for the day. So casual, I would say that's the con of casual. But the pro is that you get to work whenever you want. You're not stifled by like a routine. Like you're not under any obligations to show up to work due to like a rotation or whatever, or a roster. In Nigeria we call it roster, because you can work whenever you want to work. If most nurses, because I work in hospital, most nurses are casual. They can work whenever they want to work. If they don't want to work for this week, they don't show up. Well, if you're an immigrant, you need casual wouldn't work for you because it's no guaranteed hours and you can't really use this for anything. But you get paid. You do your job and you get paid. It's still the same. You're an employee. You just don't have those benefits like insurance and all that. Every Wednesday, I'll be uploading my videos and I will be posting them on my Facebook, my Instagram, and my TikTok as well, which are all Blackprowriter across all channels, Blackprowriter across all platforms. And I am so happy that you're watching this video and you're here right now. That means that you watch this video to the end, and I'm so grateful for that. Thank you so much. Please do not forget to subscribe if you are new here and you would like to see me on your page, your YouTube page. Please subscribe. Subscribing does nothing to you, but it does a lot for me as a creator, and it gets my channel out there to other people who need the information. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.